In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of all the worlds, the one who grants honor to his believing servants and humiliates the disbelievers, the transgressors, the oppressors, even if it be after a long time. All praise belongs to Allah, the one who proclaimed Amna. And recall when you were but few in number, considered weak and downtrodden upon the earth, fearing that people would violently snatch you away. Then he provided you with shelter, he gave you refuge, and strengthened you with his divine assistance, and sustained you with all good and wholesome provisions, so that you might truly be grateful. And Allah the Exalted says, among the believers are men who have been true to what they covenanted with Allah. So among them is he who has fulfilled his vow and died in his cause. And among them is he who still awaits his turn, and they have not altered their commitment in the slightest. And may blessings and peace be upon our Prophet, the striving, the martyr, who struggled for Allah with a true and rightful struggle, and was persecuted for Allah, yet he patiently endured, and from his Lord came victory and firm establishment. And now to proceed. May peace, God's mercy, and his abundant blessings be upon you all. We extend our heartfelt greetings to you from this sacred land of dignity and unwavering defiance, the blessed land of steadfast struggle, of glorious martyrdom, of profound purity, and of noble, unyielding pride. And we boast of our deep belonging to Gaza, the land of glory and honor, and our immense, profound pride in its valiant people, the great, unwavering strugglers, the patient, the resilient, those who seek their ultimate reward from God, the true inheritors of the prophets, the blessed descendants of Muhammad, peace be upon him. O you, the most honorable of all humanity, O you, the most magnificent of all mankind, O you, the very chosen elite of God from among his devoted servants, from his most sacred and blessed lands, O you, the sincere and truthful ones who patiently await and have not altered their steadfast resolve in the slightest. Peace be upon you for all that you have patiently endured, and truly blessed is the final dwelling. Peace be upon Gaza, upon every grain of its sacred soil, its life-giving waters, its vast skies, and its vital air. Peace be upon its steadfast men, its unwavering women, and its precious children. Peace be upon its courageous resistors and its valiant heroes. Peace be upon you for all the suffering and the pain of loss that you have endured, and the hardship of captivity, and the deep grievous wounds, and the agonizing torments of displacement. Peace be upon you as you endure today the harshness of life and the bitter cold of winter. Peace be upon your worn-out, tattered tents and your cracked, crumbling homes, and upon your weary, exhausted bodies. But your spirits, your unwavering faith, your steadfast determination, and your absolute certainty in God are far more powerful than anything all your enemies and the conspirators could ever possibly imagine. Those who revel in your suffering and eagerly anticipate your downfall. But how could that ever happen to them? By God's will. You are the very essence of glory, the opening chapter of a truly magnificent history, and what an immense source of pride and honor it is for the blood of the brave fighters to mingle with the blood of their own families, and for the leaders and their families to stand firmly among the ranks of those who sacrifice absolutely everything they possess. For we are truly from you, and you are truly from us. Together, with content and willing hearts, we offer the most precious thing we possess, responding to our Lord's call and hoping for his reward. We are certain that God will not diminish our deeds, and this pure blood will not be lost with him. To trust in your Lord, the tables will turn against the oppressors, even if it takes some time. And never think that God is unaware of what the wrongdoers do. O people of our nation, wherever you may be, in Gaza, Jerusalem, the West Bank, the occupied interior, and the diaspora. O children of our great and far-reaching nation, and to all the free people throughout the entire world, we are today. It is with immense pride and profound honor that we announce to you a magnificent constellation of the noble sons and daughters of our people, and from among our valiant, heroic freedom fighters who courageously sacrificed their precious lives following the blatant violation of the truce by the occupying forces and their resumption of a brutal criminal war this past March, to join the long hallowed procession of our righteous and blessed martyrs. Here we specifically mention a number of the valiant Qassam leaders who were martyred on the battlefield and in the command and control rooms, while at their posts fulfilling their resistance duties without faltering or tiring. We announce the martyrdom of the great leader, the martyred Mujahid, Muhammad Sinwar Abu Ibrahim, Chief of Staff of the Izz ad-Din Al-Qassam Brigades, a worthy successor to noble predecessors. The man with the exceptional strategic mind who took command of the Al-Qassam Brigades during a period of immense difficulty, succeeding the great martyr of the nation, Abu Khaled al-Dayf. He had previously served as the commander of the Operation Division during the Al-Aqsa flood operation, and his contribution was truly significant. And the prominent role in the meticulous planning and successful execution of the glorious October 7th operation, as well as overseeing the various intricate details of the defensive strategy and confronting the brutal aggression of the heinous occupation against Gaza. A journey that our great leader embarked upon many decades ago, a path punctuated by momentous milestones, from the sacred quest for vengeance to the ultimate dissipation of illusion, and extending from his command of the Khan Yunis Brigade to a multitude of senior leadership positions within Al-Qassam. May his life culminate in martyrdom, defending the frontiers of dignity and honor. We also announce the martyrdom of the great commander Mohammed Shabana Abu Anas, commander of the Rafah Brigade in the Al-Qassam Brigades, who ascended to martyrdom alongside Commander Abu Ibrahim al-Sinwar and a number of their fellow commanders and mujahideen. Abu Anas, a steadfast companion on the part of the two great leaders, Abu Shamala and Al-Attar. He was also an exceptional and brilliant commander whose invaluable contributions spanned across a multitude of different roles, from media and information management all the way to critical logistical provisions. The hero known throughout the South and his distinctive special operations, from the shattered illusion to the clear harbinger of the impending explosion, leading to the capture of Hadar Goldin and culminating in the immense creativity etched by the heroic Mujahideen of Rafah during the Al-Aqsa flood. And we also present to you the great leader, Hakam al-Issa, Abu Omar al-Muhajir, the dedicated and devoted Mujahid, and the humble, pious leader who was vibrant and alive among his brothers. The steadfast and courageous in the fields of confrontation, who journeyed across many lands bearing the sacred trust of the struggle for Palestine. He was known throughout Lebanon, Syria, and many diverse countries before he finally settled in the proud land of Gaza to complete his path of resistance and share his valuable experience with his fellow fighters in Palestine. He had served in various distinguished leadership positions, most notably within the training department and the authority for military institutes and colleges, ultimately concluding his service in the combat arms branch. We deeply mourn the passing of this great commander who has recently joined the ranks of the departed. Awati. The married Sheikh Ra'id Sa'ad Abu Mu'ad, who was the commander of the manufacturing pillar within the Al-Qassam Brigades and also served as its former commander of operations. The venerable, devout, and dignified Sheikh, whose presence was known across the battlefields of jihad from their very inception. He tirelessly connected his nights with his days, dedicating himself to giving and sacrificing. He became the first commander of the Gaza Brigade and subsequently moved between various leadership positions and numerous fronts of the struggle. He concluded his distinguished career by leading the military-industrial system, which independently manufactured Al-Qassam's weaponry with dedicated and pure Palestinian hands, from the smallest bullet to the powerful rifle, from the devastating missile to the explosive device and the shell, and from the humble boat to the advanced unmanned drone. Alati weapons played a truly crucial and decisive role in the October 7th crossing and in the subsequent defensive battle that followed. And as we stand here before you in this significant and important moment, we find ourselves compelled to pause in profound reverence and immense admiration before the distinguished individual who holds such a high and respected stature, the one who has consistently graced your presence with his powerful and commanding voice, with his truly sincere and deeply heartfelt words, and with his much anticipated and highly impactful projects and initiatives. The masked figure whom millions deeply loved, eagerly anticipating his every appearance, and who they saw as a profound source of inspiration. And his distinctive red keffiyeh became an enduring icon for all the free people across the entire world. The great martyr leader, the official spokesperson for the Al-Qassam Brigades, Abu Obaida. the resounding, powerful voice of the entire nation, a man of unwavering principle, both in his words and his steadfast positions. He is the very pulse of Palestine, of its holy city Jerusalem, its steadfast people, and its courageous resistance fighters. The distinguished leader of Al-Qassam's media operations, whose immense and profound impact is felt deeply within the souls of the nation's children. This knight, who never abandoned his people, even in the most dire and challenging circumstances, addressed them directly from the very heart of the fierce battlefield. He brought them good tidings, instilled patience, offered profound comfort, and provided unwavering reassurance and strength, despite the extreme peril and the constant relentless targeting they faced. For so long he was awaited by the enemy's public, even before his own people, eager to hear from him the decisive statement and the absolute undeniable truth. And today we proudly present him to our entire nation and our beloved people, revealing his true name and his authentic identity. It is with immense grief that we announce the passing of the distinguished leader, Hudhaifa Samir Abdullah Al-Kahlut Abu Ibrahim, who dismounted from his noble path after 2 full decades of relentlessly infuriating his adversaries and bringing profound solace to the hearts of the faithful, and he has met his Lord in the most honorable and blessed of conditions. And what sign is more indicative of true sincerity with God than for God to elevate his remembrance across all worlds and to bestow upon him acceptance throughout the earth? He departed after having led Al-Qassam's media apparatus with utmost competence, and with his brothers he etched a distinguished performance that both friend and foe alike witnessed. The world bore witness to the unfolding events of Al-Aqsa flood, presented in their most glorious form, and to the heroic deeds of Gaza's fighters, which utterly astonished the world and deeply angered our enemies. Our esteemed leader, Hudhaifa Al-Kahlut, has departed, and we have proudly inherited his revered title, Abu Obaida. May eternal peace be upon you among the immortals, and we solemnly pledge to steadfastly continue on this path. And the blood of the sons of our people, our brave fighters and our esteemed leaders, which was shed upon the sacred land of Gaza in the most honorable and valiant of battles, is truly a powerful testament to all, and a compelling call for our nation to awaken and rise, to finally shake off the dust of inaction. And the urgent call to mobilize in support of Palestine and Al-Aqsa, for which Gaza has sacrificed its most precious, all that it owns, seeking God's forgiveness, for it has done its utmost duty and continues to do so. Her sons will never let the banner fall until victory over the enemies or martyrdom in the path of God, defending the most just cause known to modern history. And we, the Izz ad-Din Al-Qassam Brigades, declare this. After more than 2 months since the announcement of the end of the 2-year war of extermination and the ceasefire coming into effect, we affirm the following. Firstly, October 7th represented a thunderous explosion, a powerful eruption directly confronting the injustice, the oppression, and the suffocating siege alongside every conceivable form of aggression perpetrated against our sacred Al-Aqsa and our resilient people. This event decisively overstepped every single red line, completely disregarding all previous demands and explicit warnings that had been issued, and utterly cast aside with blatant contempt all international covenants and established agreements. The flood came to correct the course and bring the issue, which had begun to sink into the depths of oblivion, back to the forefront. It awakened the consciences of free people in the nation and across the world and exposed the Nazi occupation, its inherent sadism, its heinous criminality, and its genocidal acts, making it a criminal fleeing from the face of justice. Our great people, through their steadfastness and immense sacrifices, have consistently thwarted every single plan devised by the enemy, beginning with forced displacement, continuing through the horrors of concentration camps and deadly traps, and not concluding with their attempts at resettlement. Furthermore, they have utterly defeated all the enemy's war objectives. The enemy did not manage to extinguish the spirit of resistance among the people of Gaza, but instead it bequeathed a deep-seated vengeance in every Palestinian home. Nor was it ever able to forcibly recover its own captives. They were only able to return through a negotiated exchange after the valiant Shadow Unit had bravely protected them throughout the entire duration of the battle. Secondly, the ceasefire, which became effective over 2 months ago, and the cessation of the torrent of blood that flowed across Gaza's land, witnessed by an unjust world, was solely the outcome of our people's unwavering resilience, their immense sacrifices, and the steadfastness of their resistance fighters. But at the end, if the path were left clear for our enemy, and he found from our people and its resistance fighters any sign of weakness or surrender, he would never cease his annihilation of all human beings, stones, and trees. Or despite all the aggressions and violations that have occurred since the war stopped, which have indeed crossed every single red line, the resistance has fulfilled all its obligations and acted with the utmost sense of responsibility, always prioritizing the interests of our people and effectively denying the occupation any opportunity. He who attempts to fabricate false pretexts to return to bloodshed, while we strongly affirm that our inherent right to respond to his heinous crimes is fully guaranteed and protected. We urge all relevant parties to curb the occupation, to cease its aggression, and to compel it to adhere to the agreements that have been reached. We also appeal to everyone who has a stake in this matter that efforts should be made to disarm the deadly occupation, which has been and continues to be used for the genocide of our people and aggression against the region's nations, instead of focusing attention on the Palestinians' light weapons, which the enemy attempts to use as a flimsy pretext to sabotage the ceasefire agreement. Our people are valiantly defending themselves. They will never relinquish their arms as long as the occupation continues to exist. They will not surrender, even if they are forced to fight with their very fingernails. And for you, in Rafah, its heroic and steadfast men who chose martyrdom over capitulation stand as the strongest witness and undeniable proof. Thirdly, in addition to the continuing aggression by the occupation forces against the Gaza Strip and its clear and blatant violation of the agreed-upon ceasefire, its aggressive actions targeting the sanctity of Al-Aqsa Mosque, the occupied West Bank, and the Palestinian prisoners are now taking a sharply escalating and dangerous turn. From the blatant desecration of Al-Aqsa's sacredness and the forced displacement of our people in the West Bank refugee camps and the rampant aggression of the usurpers in its streets and the relentless pursuit to complete the annexation project which the government of the usurpers is rapidly accelerating its steps to implement on the ground. In addition to all of this, we must also acknowledge the savage aggression being waged against our courageous prisoners and the recent legislation of a law that permits the execution of these very captives. This particular aggression, along with other similar hostile actions, absolutely demands that our people rise up and confront it, and it simultaneously sends an unequivocal message to all free individuals throughout the entire world that the occupation's relentless aggression has not in fact ceased. Consequently, that ongoing movement must not be permitted to cease its efforts. Instead, it is absolutely essential that it persists and intensifies its momentum across popular, political, and legal spheres to ensure that those responsible for these grave offenses are held fully accountable and do not evade justice. It is truly an act of loyalty for us to extend our greetings to all those who stood with our people, the heroes of our nation in Yemen of faith, Lebanon, Iraq, Iran, and the free people of Jordan and other countries, and to everyone who supported our people in various international forums, and from the free people of the world who organized marches, events, and freedom flotillas. Fourthly, from the proud land of Gaza, a land of honor and unwavering defiance, which perishes standing tall, steadfastly refusing to ever kneel or let its sacred banner fall. We issue this urgent call to all the people of our nation. Please come to the rescue of Gaza, even if the sounds of the cannons have now fallen silent there. Is still enduring immense hardship, and it is your solemn duty to provide her with relief and alleviate her suffering. You are fully capable of achieving that, and this represents the absolute minimum that can be offered to her people after many abandoned them when they were being subjected to genocide. And know that whoever is silent about the oppression of his Arab and Muslim brethren must await his turn for violation and aggression. And indeed, the imperative duty of the hour for the entire nation is to stand as one, united against its foremost enemy, which with each passing day adds yet another capital city from among its own to its ever-growing list of targets, and furthermore, it seeks to transform the nations of this region into a mere gateway for the establishment of what it audaciously terms Greater Israel. And the most telling example of this is his continuous aggression against the two sister nations, Lebanon and Syria. And here, we must extend a heartfelt tribute to our people in Syria who bravely confronted the Zionist aggression with their very bodies after they were tragically abandoned and left to face it alone. So wake up, O Muslim nation, and truly grasp the profound weakness of this arrogant enemy who was utterly humiliated on the sacred land of Gaza. And know that the autumn of the occupation has truly begun, and the curse of the 8th decade has fallen upon it, and another battle today shakes its very foundations and gnaws at its core, and this is among the clear signs of its ultimate demise, God willing. And the curses of the blood of children, women, and the innocent, and the dire woes of destroying crops and generations will relentlessly pursue him until he is utterly cast out by all of creation, even by the very stones and trees. His isolation, the severing of public support for him, and the beginning of his decline after his rise and vast corruption are a clear sign of his end drawing near. The humbling of his arrogance and the fulfillment of the final promise, in whose shadow justice will be revealed for all who wronged our people and all who coordinated, normalized, and colluded with our enemy. And every single individual who collaborated with the occupier and willingly agreed to serve as their agent was subsequently cast aside, utterly humiliated, left by the roadside, or met their demise falling dead, just as it happened to their chief instigators only weeks ago.
And finally, O our beloved people, O our nation, O the great and noble people of Gaza, O you the towering and steadfast mountains of Gaza, O our fathers and our mothers and our brothers and our sisters and our sons and our daughters, to our persevering families and our heroic tribes, we are your children and we are truly proud. We kiss your heads and bow in reverence to you, and we promise to remain loyal to you and your sacrifices. For just as we have lived through suffering and pain together, we will together rebuild what the occupation has destroyed. We will bandage the wounds and we will comfort the afflicted. And with our trust in God, your sacrifices will not have been in vain. God has honored every single one of your homes by granting it a share in the battle to defend Al-Aqsa and instilled in your hearts beautiful patience and enveloped you with His grace. And this is a divine favor bestowed upon you by God, because you are the cherished beloved of the Messenger of God, those who steadfastly hold on to burning embers, who find no true allies or supporters for the cause of truth. And because you are the finest among the vigilant defenders, and your most noble stronghold and defense is Ashkelon, it is truly your rightful privilege to hold your heads up high despite all the suffering and the profound pain. Indeed, God has chosen and distinguished you to be the deserving recipients of these magnificent divine grants and the prophetic glad tidings which every Muslim on the face of this humble earth ardently desires. And what is with God is always far better and more enduring. Oh, and on the day, what glad tidings for the posh and steadfast believers. It will be as if they had never known any misery or distress whatsoever. Indeed, for the allies of God, there shall be no fear upon them, nor shall they ever be made to grieve. Verily, the steadfast and patient ones shall be fully recompensed for their reward without measure or limit. And Allah is ever dominant over His affairs, but most of mankind does not comprehend this profound truth. And truly, it is a noble struggle that leads to either glorious victory or honorable martyrdom. And peace be upon you and the mercy of God and His blessings.
Subscribe to Oneindia and never miss an update. Download the Oneindia app